Thank you very much. We'll now move over to Honorable J.S. Malema, who's going to be virtual. Honorable Malema.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Mr. President, you are a perfect manifestation of this African idiom. You are incompetent, incapacitated, and the most unreliable human being. Perhaps it is something you learned when you worked as a legal officer for the Oppenheimers. You are here pretending as though you believe in South Africa's case, yet it is a lie. When you prematurely ascended to power in 2018, many people, including the leadership and membership of the EFF, hoped that you will bring some degree of stability. It has now been 3 years since you took office, and we can all say that you have not achieved anything that is worth mentioning. We have successfully displaced the Gupta criminal syndicate, which had a lot of power under President Zuma, but it is now evident that the Guptas have been replaced by a very powerful white capitalist capture of the Ruperts, Oppenheimers, Stephen Koshev, the Minels, and all other white people who played a central role in buying the conference of the ruling party in 2017. We want to state categorically that any leader of our country who owes loyalty to colonial settlers and white state capturers is defining himself as an enemy of the people. We will isolate and ultimately defeat all puppets of the white capitalist establishment. Despite the PR stunts and showmanship you demonstrated during the State of the Nation address on the 11th of February 2021, there is honestly nothing to celebrate under your leadership. The reality is that the conditions of our people are getting worse, and whilst Corona has worsened them, it is still not to blame for your general incompetence. The only thing your administration is competent at is the protection and benefits of white capitalist establishment. This is evidently payback for the fact that white people, even under apartheid, protected and promoted you, Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa. Honorable Speaker, you will recall that when young black people were being exiled and killed in the 70s, particularly after June 16 uprising, Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa was already serving in the boards of white companies, particularly the Urban Foundation belonging to the Oppenheimers and the Ruperts. It is no surprise that when he announced the first lockdown, he announced fake commitments of billions of donations from the Ruperts and Oppenheimers, which never reached our people. When he was elected as a president in 2018, the unemployment rate in South Africa was 26.1%. More than 8.8 million people, mainly black youth, willing and ready to work, were unemployed. Today, unemployment rate has increased to 30.1%, and the number of unemployed people has increased to well over 10 million. Under his leadership, more than 2 million people who had jobs when he took office no longer have jobs. This means, Mr. President, that in the same way you claim victories for an increase in jobs, you must also take full responsibility when more than 2 million breadwinners lose their jobs. Despite empty promises at investment summits, the economy under Mr. Ramaphosa is shrinking, and South Africa was already in recession for 3 quarters before the outbreak of coronavirus. The last time South Africa experienced a positive quarterly economic growth was 2019 second quarter. We experienced recession well before the COVID-19 pandemic, and this is made worse by the fact that government's contribution to the GDP continues to decline due to the patently foolish and unscientific reduction of the budget. We want that despite the misleading talk by the Minister of Trade, Industry and Competition, Ibrahim Patel, South Africa's industrial capacity is not growing. Instead, it continues to shrink as there is no coherent and cogent industrial policy for industrial expansion or localization because of Mr. Ramaphosa's incompetence. You are incompetent. You must accept or untwapala. When we were confronted with COVID-19 pandemic, we could not even manufacture the most basic of things like masks and sanitizers. South Africa has spent more than 30 billion purchasing PPEs, and this has benefited foreign companies. Even when local producers tried to locally produce PPEs, your government overlooked them and empowered foreign companies. In addition, your preference of white people is deeply hurtful and the most dangerous of all your trades. It is demonstrated by almost all strategic positions in state-owned companies being handed over to white people and mostly males, whom despite their incompetence and corruption are protected by the capitalist media establishment. Mr. President, your energy plan is a disaster and will not bring about the necessary energy stability needed to develop South Africa's economy. Despite your misleading commitments that Eskom will not be privatized, what you said here during SONA is essentially the gradual privatization of energy generation, and we all know that white capitalist establishment will again be the biggest beneficiary, whilst thousands of workers will lose their jobs. Eskom's future lies in the establishment of its own renewable energy division, instead of its dependency on greedy independent power producers. The current model has dismally failed and has worsened Eskom financial problems. We were told that more than 1.2 trillion investment was marked over a period of 5 years, and so far the so-called raised investments are imaginary and only exist in your not so big head. In 2018, Mr. Ramaphosa committed to finalizing the allocation of spectrum to reduce barriers to entry, promote competition, and reduce data costs. The same commitment was repeated in February and June 2019 and February 2020. This process has been mismanaged so much that any effort to license the spectrum will be riddled with corruption, incompetence, and not lead to reduction of data cost. Under your watch, Mr. President, corruption is on the rise. For instance, only 26% of the national and provincial departments and state-owned entities manage to produce quality financial statements. According to Auditor General, the financial health of government continues to be alarming, irregular, wasteful, and fruitless expenditure continues to increase. The COVID-19 corruption of PPEs is also evidence that you cannot deal with corruption. According to Auditor General COVID-19 Special Report, there is widespread corruption, fraud, abuse of power in your government, sponsored and monitored by people including your cabinet members. In fact, your own ministers refuse to answer important questions from Parliament. The key example is this one who just spoke before me, who pretend to be knowing everything about this pandemic, yet he knows nothing. He refused to answer questions using non-disclosure agreements signed with pharmaceuticals. We have written to the Speaker to demand that all details, including prices, quantities, contracted middlemen and middlewomen in the procurement of vaccines, must be disclosed to Parliament and the people of South Africa. Everyone who stands to personally benefit from the vaccine rollout must face public scrutiny to avoid the repeat of corruption in rollout of PPEs. The truth, however, is that all of this will not happen because of your incompetence, Mr. Ramaphosa. Wapalelwa. Udubantu apala, autsebe selo, urata dilo, udumeche uba president, utsiba auna le capacity ya uba class representative. We have had to lodge complaints with the public protector about shenanigans that occurred in the financial sector, conduct authority, where commissioners have squandered millions of members' pension fund. They have used these funds to enrich themselves, their own law firms, and their family members. The surpluses and unclaimed pensions should be used to procure vaccine. You could unwind the pension fund, reverse the unjustifiable legal and curator fees, and utilize the remaining surpluses for the benefit of workers and all people. The reality is that in any event, these funds belong to the workers. But again, because of your incompetency, you will not use your regulatory power to save the lives of workers from the devastating impact of COVID-19 pandemic. This instability This inability to act is what gives you way to corruption and squandering of people's resources by greedy officials and capitalists. Amidst all this, under you, Mr. Ramaphosa, white companies are the biggest beneficiaries of state contracts. Black companies are all marginalized under the racist suspicion that they are all corrupt simply because they are black. Isalu Eba president, all the people, including Baba Usapotile, they are being pushed out. All those people who were successful in the previous administrations, by the business, BEE, they are now being taken out of those companies because they've gained a wide arrogance under your leadership and they've undermined all black people. Yen khatang gudu ge ntshirishang ibile ntsigirika le bosheo ke gore ba bantsho ba ba o fileng tšhelete le bona they are at the receiving end gore magwa a bantšha dikgwebong ka gore magwa ba ra ba sa ba nida ba tswere komang ka nna ka the form of a president. Despite undisputed evidence that there was massive corruption in the purchase of PPEs, there is not a single public official who has been arrested and convicted by the NDPP, whom we were told is the most competent of all. It is evident now that the only thing the current NDPP was appointed for was to withdraw criminal charges against the rogue unit led by Jamnandas, which continues to control government and media to tell lies about president's opponents and project him as a demigod. Mr. President, we cannot continue to bury our heads in the sand against growing and now believable allegations that some prominent members of the judiciary are in the payroll of the white capitalist establishment. We cannot ignore the allegations that some of the judges have received bribes through SSA Project Justice as well as from CR17 donations, which by all standards and measures amounted to massive corruption, money laundering, and racketeering. The judiciary must know that they are not above the Constitution. Ugano ba judge mara umudimo ka o fela bona asanga ba lwele nagae ba ile sekolong gore ba be di judge. There is nothing so special that gives them powers to think they can amend this constitution and take the rights of people away. West, Babibaki contradicted in their own judgments because they think they are untouchable. They must know that if they continue to think that they are the law but not interpreters of the law, then the people will rise against such few judges who have made themselves the law and are conspiring with politicians to deal with the opponents of the current establishment. There is an uninterrupted continuity of the state capture, which looks like all along you have been learning from the best. At the rate these allegations are going, we'll have to establish another commission of inquiry to investigate massive corruption under your leadership, and we'll have to conduct a closer scrutiny of our judiciary. Judges who can be investigated, and they need to know that they must make the law and they shouldn't think that they are above the law. Mr. President, in your PR efforts, you continue to mention that you have made a fiscal intervention of 500 billion to fight the corona pandemic and its consequences, and that is plainly not a reflection of reality. We warned earlier on about the urban legend and failed PR exercise that there was 500 billion injected in the fiscus as an economic response to the COVID-19 pandemic. We illustrated that the 500 billion was made of 70 billion tax deferments, 200 billion loan guarantees used to benefit few white businesses, 40 billion support business with wages paid from UIF, and other monies were sought from reprioritization of the existing budget. The most tragic decision taken by your government was to borrow 100 billion from IMF, which despite your denials will lead to the micromanagement of South Africa's fiscal policy. This means under your watch, Mr. President, South Africa's sovereignty against imperialist micromanagement has been compromised. It is an illusion that we should only focus our fight against corona only in the borders colonially defined as South Africa, whilst our brothers and sisters in the entire continent have nowhere to source assistance. The South African government should, as a permanent solution, build a state-owned pharmaceutical company and capacity in collaboration with progressive countries such as Cuba and Russia. Because undisputed science has illustrated that the Russian vaccine has higher efficiency rates and has possible and sound storage requirements. That is where we should refocus our attention. It is now difficult to believe that your insistence on Johnson & Johnson vaccine is genuine because Johnson & Johnson has subcontracted your CR17 funders to be part of the manufacturers of the vaccine, which does not have the necessary efficiency and capacity to insulate our people from the virus. If science says the Russian vaccine is the most impactful vaccine against corona, why are we not pursuing it? The provision of vaccine to South Africans must include an equal effort to provide vaccines to all Africans, including those from poor countries, because administering vaccine only in South Africa when our brothers and sisters in the African continent are not vaccinated is meaningless. Vaccination and access to quality health care should be a human right, not privilege reserved for the rich and powerful. Let me tell you, Mr. President, our principle to support Africans who are here and all over the continent and in the diaspora will never be shaken by the so-called put South Africa first. We are Africans. There is nothing called South Africa. These borders were imposed on us by the nonsensical imperialists who knew that African unity will serve as a direct threat to imperialism and colonialism. If supporting Africans means we should lose vote, then so be it. If calling for vaccination of fellow African brothers and sisters means we'll lose these seats of parliament, let me go back to Masakane. I will not sit back and see Africans dying while South Africa can afford to vaccinate them because I want to vote. I call you and your so-called liberation movement that benefited a lot from Africa to rise and support the call of EFF to vaccinate all of Africa, particularly the poor countries that cannot afford, particularly Southern Africa, because we are one community. Those borders that all of you speak about are imaginary. You look now, you opened the borders yesterday, the 15th, yet there was no stampede at the borders. What does it tell you? They were already here because your gates are imaginary. They exist only in your not so big head. We call on the Department of Health and all health regulatory bodies for the regulation, professionalization and mainstreaming of traditional African immunization and disease prevention mechanisms such as steaming, lengana, and mutlonyana. Na re godishitše ke makgona tšohle re be re lwala re rema ke tlhogo bakgekolo ba re fa makgona tšohle ge re bolaya ke mala ba re fa makgona tšohle a re a godiša ke dipilisi tše tša makgowa jalo re dia boipiletšo ge e le gore ka nnete o movenda wa o rena wa go tšwa venda wa o tseba ditlhare tše tša rena tše le dipheko gore na di bereka jwang gore re thušeng gore re berekana le di-dosage gore tlhare tše tša bo rena tše bo magolo a rena bokokosara ba rutileng tšona pele ba ya badimong re tšwele pele re di berekiša gore re se ka tshwara ke malwetši a re sa tsebeng a mangwe ba re a tšwa China re sa tsebe re kopana kae le ma-China jalo re thuše re nyaka gore tlhare tše tša rena tša Sesotho nke di packagiwe gabotse le dosage tša gona di bontšhiwe gabotse gore di newa jwang gore di se ka eketša bolwetši di re okofatše ka mokgwelong gore re be re okofala le kgale ge e be re ja ditlharo tše le dipheko tše bakgekolo le bakgalabe ba re tlogeletšeng tšona makgowa ba dinyake ka go tseba gore ge re ka ja mešungwa company ya rena tše le medu ke moka ditlhare tša bona tša sekgwa di ka sa rekiwa ba ka sa dia tšhelete rena re tšhabe go bolela gore re gotše ka legare re gotše re iya mešongwane re gotše re iya medu ka gore rena we are proud Africans a re kgantše ka dinaka tša go rwešwa tša go tshwana le tše wena o tsamayang o di rwele mogare a batho o re ko wena president o tseba ge o robetše bošego gore a o qualify le go ba president. The South African government should play a leading role in the regularization and mainstreaming of proven scientific solutions that are part of African tradition. It is problematic, reactionary, and unacceptable for the government not to provide scientific guidance on alternative African methods of disease prevention and cure, whilst a large number of our people are depending on these solutions. We demand that all intellectual property rights on vaccines and generic medicines must be waived, because saving lives is the critical. In this critical period of a deadly virus should not be in pursuit of profit. Capitalist greed and opportunism should in this age be replaced by the spirit of human solidarity. During the Cold War, rivals in the war collaborated to fight the pandemics of chicken pox and polio, and to a large extent succeeded. In this regard, all countries in the world should collaborate to vaccinate the whole world population, otherwise there will never be a lasting victory over coronavirus. We call on government to extend the provision of the basic income grant into permanent solution for all unemployed people in South Africa. We call for the increase of social grants for all people receiving social grants. We call for the introduction of a social and economic assistance program that will help small and medium enterprise owned black people, because the 200 billion loans guarantee announced as part of the imaginary 500 billion packages only benefited white people. We demand payment holidays for all people owing banks for houses and cars, and we demand payment holidays for all people paying rent. The payment holidays must be a national compulsory resolution applying to all the people and not left to the discretion of financial institutions. No one should, under this condition of pandemic, be dispossessed of their houses and cars due to the non-payment, because we are in a difficult situation economically and a lot of people have lost their jobs. If banks and financial institutions continue to dispossess our people of their houses and cars, they will force us into militant and radical action against all of you. Morana Ramaphosa, open the political space and ban activity. Because the banks are doing as they wish, you are also doing as you wish, because you have deprived our people from occupying the streets. Occupy the political space so that we can go back to the picket lines and demonstrate to these banks that no one can defeat the power of the masses. Mr. President, local government elections in 2021 will not be free, fair, and transparent, because you have closed the political. We cannot hold elections in.
I now direct that the mic be switched off. Thank you very much. The next speaker is the acting minister in the presidency, Honorable Nchaven.
His Excellency, the President of the Republic of South Africa.
I tell them to leave.
House Chairperson.
Please proceed.
Deputy President of the Republic, you know it's a hybrid.
Point of order, House Chairperson.
No technology.
Order here.
It's hybrid.
On a point of order, House Chairperson.
Honorable Speaker of the National Assembly, Chairperson of the
Honorable
On a point of order, Chairperson.
Honorable
On a point of order.
the NCOP, on a point of procedure.
Any attempt to disrupt the sitting, really?
No, but Chairperson, we're calling a point of order here.
We're calling a point of order.
Honorable Chairperson of
Honorable
the
Chairman, just a
NCOP.
minute. Honorable member.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson.
I stand on a point of procedure.
Of the House, this
All
is not a
speakers-
disruption.
all
Can you please
speakers
take
are
the point of
given
order?
An opportunity to debate in this debate. So the honorable member of the EFF finished his speech and his time was over. So can we be please assisted in this House that those who are trying to disrupt this debate, they must be chucked out of this platform so that other members who are
It's
speakers
exactly the
today
nonsense you have
be
planned.
allowed
This nonsense.
speak in this House. Thank you very much, Honorable.
No, Chair, we can't allow the deputy speaker, the deputy chief nonsense.
That point of order is sustained.
Julius is too.
We will therefore move on to
The EFF
the
will
next
call a
speaker.
point of order. Please
Please proceed.
recognize us.
Order,
Honorable
Chairperson.
Chavin, please proceed.
Can you please take a point of order,
When
Chairperson?
President
On the point of
Ramaphosa stood here on Thursday, he said, "This is no ordinary year.
On a point of
and
order,
this is no
Chairperson.
ordinary State of the Nation address." And in the same vein, this is no ordinary.
Honorable Chavin, just a
Point of
minute.
order is it's allowed.
I'm now going to instruct again
Chair,
that
Chair, on a
the
point of
mic
Point
be
of
switched
order,
off.
Chairperson.
Please proceed, Honorable Member.
Chair, just take a point
Please
of
proceed.
order and hear us out because what.
But a point of order is allowed,
Please proceed.
Comrade Ambi.
Can you please allow a point of order?
Honorable members, I can't really understand what it is.
Follow
we're
the
trying
rules,
to do.
Chairperson, follow the rules. Point of order is allowed.
The time allocated to Honorable Malima
It's
elapsed.
called a point of order.
And I'm not going to have any point of order
Speak on
on the
point
question
order.
of the time allocated. Thank you very much. Please proceed, Honorable Member.
Please take a point of order, Chairperson.
No, I'm not taking it. Please proceed.
Why?
No, but you are allowed.
Please switch off the mic.
Chairperson, please respect the rules.
Honorable Chairperson of the
The rules,
NCOP,
Comrade Ambi.
and the IT people assist us by muting those mics. All the mics of the people who are on the virtual platform must be muted so that we may proceed
the point of
with the
order.
debate in the House. Thank you very much.
Recognize the point of order.
I request that all these other mics be
Why are you not muting
muted.
the EFF member?
Hey, Doris, it's a point of order. How come you want to speak alone here, Doris? Why must you speak alone, Doris?
Julius spoke alone.
Honorable
Julius
Chavin.
spoke alone.
Wait when I'm a sheikh, man. Chairperson, you are calling a point of order. It's according to the rules. Order.
Please proceed.
Doris,
Recognize the EFF.
Julius spoke alone.
you can't speak alone on a point of order, Doris. You
Honorable
can't.
Member.
I think mute the mics. Mute all the mics.
Julius spoke alone.
Chairperson,
The rules to make your work easy.
Chairperson,
You switch off our mic. Point of order.
Chairperson,
Chairperson,
yeah.
recognize the EFF. Calling a point of
There
order.
is no EFF here. There is a member of parliament.
I find it very.
Honorable members, I now order that all the mics that are on be switched off and that we proceed with the sitting.
Yeah, Chairperson.
Why are you doing this? Why?
Don't do that.
Chavin.
We stand here today in a parliamentary session
Don't do that.
during a global pandemic.
No one
that
must
has
also
affected
call a point of
all
order
us.
in the House.
You see,
Yeah, can I please make an appeal, honorable members,
but
Recognize the
Chairperson,
EFF.
that everybody takes their own seat.
no,
But why are we not allowed to do point of orders anymore?
Can you mute all the mics?
Whenever we
are
are
collapsing.
Why are you using us? This is the point of order.
Off?
Yeah, I now order that all mics be switched off
Simple.
and that Honorable Chavin proceed with addressing of the House. Please proceed.
Honorable Chairperson of the NCOP, I need to request that the time that was taken when they were howling on my speaking time be restored. because they were not muting the mics intentionally, even when you've given them an order to mute the mic. So I need my minute restored. Thank you. We stand here today in a hybrid parliamentary session during a global pandemic that has affected us all. We remember those who have departed and those who continue to battle with the coronavirus. I pay my respects to a colleague, the late minister in the presidency, Comrade Jackson Tembu, and fellow honorable members.
And it is against
Mute all the mics. Please, IT, mute the mics.
Chairperson,
for you to
here today in a hybrid parliamentary session progress towards the development of our country, as set out in the Vision 2030 that is espoused in the National Development Plan. With 9 years to go until 2030, you have boldly invited South Africans and everybody interested to measure the performance of your leadership in delivering
on a point of order, House Chairperson.
Stated targets, albeit under
point of order, Chairperson.
Environment.
On a point of order.
On what rule are you dismissing points of order? What rule are you using?
Chairperson, may I be recognized?
What rule are you using to dismiss points of order? Tell us now.
You said all mics must be muted. Can you mute all of them?
Yeah, we're members. Yeah, we're
I'm also a member. I'm also a member.
On a point of order,
Can I make a plea?
There's a tendency
Can I make a please make a plea to all members,
and treat them as if they
especially
are
to
not
those
members
who
of
are
Parliament.
virtual?
Exactly.
Kindly
allow that to
afford us an opportunity.
We have a right here as members of Parliament to express ourselves to rise on points
Please
of
go
order,
ahead.
whether you agree with that or not.
Speak. Just speak, DP, because it's ignoring you.
Chairperson, we have communicated to the table staff in Parliament, and they know very well that we have allocated all the minutes to the President to address, and we say that he will only stop once it's finished. And you are working on the basis of wrong minutes to stop him. So his speech is not done, and it is against
mute all the mics. Please, IT, mute the mics.
Chairperson,
for you to the PIC to give the real state of nation address and suppressing the EFF.
No, there's no such a thing as a real state of the nation has been given by the President, not by any
Commander-in-Chief to address.
Chairperson,
Yes, honourable member.
of Rule
Let's hear
92
you.
of the rules of the joint sittings, what the EFF are now doing is a disruption of the House, thus stopping the constitutional right of me and the member at the podium from being allowed to...
We can't hear Honorable Mazzone.
What is going on the virtual platform is unacceptable. It's an embarrassment to our country, and I therefore ask, Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces, that you now order that the Sergeant at Arms remove anyone who does not adhere to...
You are raising a point of order here when I'm zoning. You are following the rules.
For example, the honourable member...
Are we not
in the same setting here?
Why do you allow Natasha to speak? You don't want us to speak. Are we not in the same setting? And Deputy President, this is a white lady against black people. We are all
I now take this opportunity
you allow Natasha to speak
to clarify
and you allow her to completely speak
one more
because
time.
she's a white woman and you're scared of white people. We demand to
all the other mics to be switched off to enable us to proceed with the sitting.
You are scared of
Honorable Nchavi.
But we have raised a point of order. The point of order that is being by the President of the EFF.
On a point of order.
Allow him.
This is the point of order that we have raised. We have wrongly interrupted the President from speaking.
This is our president.
I now order that all the other mics be
The
switched
President
off.
of the EFF have not finished his speech. Allow him to finish.
That thing
He has allocated minutes to the member of his house.
Your CIC, we work with minutes.
Wait, and I'm not talking to you.
It's not gonna finish. I'm responding
Comrade Ambi, it's very simple. Just follow the rule.
I repeat again.
Just follow
I
the
repeat
rules.
again that I'm now ordering all the other mics to be switched off.
The rules. Give us
The rules.
This joint
Honorable House Chair, with due respect, Honorable Chair of the NCOP presiding officer, the leaders of the EFF who are on virtual platform have just informed us that they've communicated with the table staff that they've been allocated 42 minutes, and therefore only one person, which is Mr. Malima, will take the entire 42 minutes. But on the speakers list here, it appears that it's 21. So they're saying it might have, there might have been miscommunication when this was printed out. So I wanted just to put that into records.
Chairperson,
the point of order.
The chief whip of the majority party is correct. The chief whip of the majority party is correct that is what we communicated to the table staff. So you cannot stop our time before the speech has been finished. Allow the CIC to finish the speech, and then you will allow the others to. It's our minutes that we are using to address Parliament. It's not your borrowed time. It's the time that we were given by the masses of our people who voted for the EFF. So please allow the Commander-in-Chief to finish the speech, and then you will proceed with the other speakers according to the time that have been given. It's as simple as that.
Thank you very much.
Chairperson, may I also make a point?
The issue has been clarified.
My concern, Chairperson,
we will proceed to give 20 minutes more to Honorable Malima.
In the proceedings via the virtual platform. It is as if the members of Parliament who are sitting in the House have a right to express themselves, and we don't.
We will now proceed.
I do not understand why. No, Chairperson, please. I'm also talking. I've not
given a permission to speak.
EFF was not allowed to express its point of order, raise on the point, and then make a ruling.
I've not given a permission to speak. So given the fact that the clarification has been given, that Honorable Malima is entitled to 20 more minutes, this is exactly what we're going to do. Please proceed.
But you Kumbuzo must start afresh when she comes in.
You've wasted our time.
Chair, please be clear. Who must proceed?
Honorable Malima. Honorable Malima, please proceed. 20 minutes more.
Thank you.
Honorable Chairperson, Honorable Malema has been kicked out. He can't be accessed back in. Please tell your people to allow him back in.
You must tell your parliamentary people, to the IT people, to let him in back, because you have removed him. You are scared of what he's saying. When he's telling the truth, you are scared of that.
He must start from the beginning.
Hey, the platform is for the EFF.
There's no platform for the EFF. We are saying to the chairperson, you must start up first when you start. It's for the EFF.
The chief whip of the ANC, having clarified the question and having spoken to the table, will now give Honorable Malima 20 more minutes. Please proceed.
Bring him back. The IEC, bring him back.
He was kicked out.
He wasn't kicked out, he left because he was angry.
He kicked himself out. He was not kicked out.
The person instruct your IT people to bring him back. He was kicked out because
because they are disrupting. About deputy secretary. Mute all the ANC comrades. They are disrupting the House, Chairperson. Please.
They must start with you, Mautre. And you, Peter.
And tell Julius we see the people directing him there behind him.
Chairperson, can I proceed?
Okay. Please proceed.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Let all political parties honestly engage in a process presided by Independent Electoral Commission to assess whether there is a rational possibility of proceeding with local government elections in 2021 at the face of a devastating pandemic. Once we agree that it is not possible, we will approach the Electoral Court in the same way it was done for all postponed by-elections to hold local government elections when the conditions permit for free, fair, and transparent election to occur. We are not scared, Chairperson, because a lot of doomsayers say the EFF demands of the elections to be postponed because it's scared to lose the elections. We want to remove the ANC from power through a transparent and open, contested local government elections. There is no way the ANC can come back to power. Lastly, we wish to remind you that the historical mission started by the EFF to amend Section 25 of the Constitution shall be finalized before the end of 2021. This is a program to repossess the land that was stolen from Africans by white colonialist settlers who continue to own and control over 80% of South Africa's land. It is unconstitutional. It is constitutionally permissible to change the constitution in order to meet historical demands of our people, and anyone who denies us this democratic right does not understand the rule of law. We know that the subjects of colonial rule and puppets will try everything in their power to delegitimize the process of repossessing our land, but we are resolute. Our land will come back in our lifetime and will never retreat. When you said, Mr. President, you agree with amendment of Section 25, we want much earlier that you are bluffing. The same way you said you are winning elections on transparency principle, we want that you are bluffing. You said you are winning elections on the principle of anti-corruption. We want that you are bluffing. You did so because you stand for nothing. You've got no political backbone. You are a coward. And that's why even in the 70s, you could not stand with your own generation. When they went to Robben Island, you went home, a child of an apartheid policeman. This time around, we will never give you that opportunity. You either are going to agree that we take our land and restore it in the hands of the rightful owners, or else you are going to be kicked out of that office even before your conference. You will be the first president of the ANC and the country who doesn't finish the first term. Every time we fight for our rights, every time we demand accountability, every time we articulate radical positions towards changing the economy of this country, your puppets accuse us of a fight-back strategy. We are not part of any fight-back strategy. Our fight is against the corrupt ANC gangster. You are all members of a gangster, and we are not part of your factions. Neither are we with Zuma or are we with you, the CR17 gangster. We are fighting the ANC. It's not a fight-back strategy. It's not a secret. We are fighting the ANC, and by extension, we are fighting you. We want you out of power, and we are going to intensify that. Your puppets must stop confusing us with factional battles of the ANC. We warned you long time ago. Listen to your own comrades, not a kitchen cabinet in Stellenbosch. You didn't listen. Now you are swimming in a boiling water. Thank you.
Long live CIC, long live!
Long live!
We'll now move on to the next
Long live useless Chairperson.
Long live our president. Long live.
Long live CIC, Julius Silverman. Long live.
Anyway.
Mandla our president.
Small business is collapsing. Small business is collapsing.
Mara le batho ba EFF wa le temile man.
Re joao.
Bona le wena.
Re joao.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, I'm rising on a point of order.
Yes, ma'am.
The point of order is, can all the mics be controlled on a visual platform? Let people indicate if they want to speak, but the chaos that is happening on visual platform is uncalled for, please.
Okay. Thank you. Honorable members, we request order. Kahle. Usuyaqala nawe nje. Uyakhalimelwa la, uyaqala. Awukahle. There will be order here. Honorable Minister, please proceed. Honorable members, you don't have to be told and reminded about the rules, you know them. And they will be forcefully imposed. If you don't agree to be with us orderly, you just switch off and turn over into your kitchen and have good drinks there. Honorable Minister, please proceed.
Fellow South Africans,